Hi everybody, so this is my episode recap of Adventure Time Fionna and Cake called The Crocodile Who Bit a Log. Yeah, that's really funny. Oh, so I just want to tell you the last episode was called The Hare and the Sprout. Yeah, so I got the name wrong last time, but here that's the name of it. But anyway, so this is my episode recap of episode 2. Oh man, it was pretty great. I had a really great time watching it. It begins with a really pretty art style of Huntress Wizard backstory when she was a kid and she's breaking a rock and she's trying to earn her place as like one of the Huntress Wizard people, and you discover the heart of forest and she plants an arm, but we'll find that out later. But you see other people like Huntress Wizards and she becomes one of them. She earns a mask, and there's that forest spirit guy who's voiced by Matthew Broderick. But we see a backstory with Huntress Wizard, and she cuts her own hand off by snapping a rock, and she's trying to earn her place. She gets a mask and becomes one of the Huntress people, and her name's Huntress, and that's how she earned her place as Huntress Wizard. But anyway, we see Fionna Cake with Gary and Marshall, and they're sneaking in the sweet spots, but Queenie's took it, and she's breaking in and trying to get Gary's stuff back, and you see the plaid pants that Bubblegum wore in that vampire world. But anyway, so then the guy with the funny glasses and the mustache comes out, and he's trying to stop them, but he has fire powers, and it turns out it's that fire guy from like the first season when he was just wanting to serve tea and had a job where he served tea. But here he got fired and he's trying to find a job to earn money, and Marsh's like, I get that, man. He fights Cake and she burns her hand, and then they go to the bar and you see them playing cheers, and Fionna needs a plan, so there's like, oh, what are we gonna do? And then the bartender will give her onions and olives, and she was like, I didn't know they serve drinks like that. And she was like, they don't. But the bartender was like, I'm still mad at you because I fired you and you did your job wrong. And I'm like, I know. And she drank it and she broke the glass, and she was like, I'll pay for that. And she's trying to think of a plan. She's like, we need to come back crazier than ever. But here's the next part. Huntress Wizard was trying to get a sample from the tree, but then there was like a great battle, and yeah, the bear turned out to be that lady who was in the trailer named Witch Wizard. I don't picture a character named Witch Wizard to look like that. Like, shouldn't it be called Tree Wizard or Forest Wizard or something? I just feel like that's a more suitable name. But anyways, that's who the bear was. So they fight each other in a great battle. They do the crocodile log thing, and then she put a net on her, and she's like, something catastrophic, he deserves to die. It's like, I need to help my friend. So yeah, what's the story behind that? So she uses the tree, but then she gets a sample, but turns out the part of the forest prince came alive, and it turns out it's like a big deer creature, and it was bleeding, and they were fighting all the other forest wizards, and they were fighting Huntress, and then they lose their power, and then she gets sucked into the portal, and then she gets separated into pieces. But then there's like a dream sequence where she's with Finn, and she's like, I'm going to die, I'm gonna accept it. I was like, no, don't. And then Huntress Wizard was trying to help him, and she didn't know about the whole thing with the trees and the branch and making a mess, and Witch Wizard could have told her that. It's like, no, something catastrophic would have happened. And Huntress was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And yeah, so now she's in pieces. Oh, poor Huntress Wizard, and poor Finn, because he doesn't have the best track record with relationships. Like, he blew it with Flame Princess, and now he's kind of blowing it with Huntress Wizard. And there's a scene where she's like, I'm trying to help my friend. How did they broke up? Like, she says exceptional beasts like us cannot fall in love. But yeah, I read some comments, and even a lot of people want them to get together. Like, he just wants one good thing in his relationship. Yeah, I do sometimes miss Flame Princess and Finn as a couple, and we definitely know Bubblegum and Finn aren't gonna be a thing, but oh well. I always wanted Finn to fall in love with Fionna the human, like maybe Ice King makes a potion and then Fionna becomes into the real world and becomes friends and they fall in love, but that's obviously can happen. But speaking of Finn and Fionna, we do see baby Finn, and the peppermint butler tank, and they were gonna aim at the place, and then they were like, no, don't blow it up. And then they see the for sale sign. It's like, we'll just try to buy this. But you also see later that Fiona and Simon are talking on the phone. There was a scene where Simon Petrikov was talking on the phone with Bubblegum in the wizard school, and they were trying like, we gotta figure this out. And you see Peppermint Butler messing around and moving Finn's face like, oh. But yeah, Bubblegum brought some help with the ambulance, and it's the banana guards, and they don't know squat. But there's a scene where Fiona and Simon Petrikov are on the phone, and they're like, I'm with Finn, I'm trying to help him. Oh, poor guy. And you do see Fiona with baby Finn. You know, even before, years ago, before this, I had an idea, like, wouldn't it be cute if the Adventure Time cast turned into babies and Fiona had to take care of them. But yeah, actually, we see baby Finn, and Peppermint Butler was like going out to a club, and Fiona was taking care of baby Finn. And Simon was on the phone, was like, I'm trying to help Finn. And I was like, oh, poor guy. So that's basically the only thing close to a Fiona and Finn interaction. Yeah, I'm still waiting, and I waited so long, but oh boy, we'll see that soon. And you see Huntress Wizard, like, apparently her parts went to a branch and it traveled the multiverse, and you do see other worlds, like the seed planted in different places, like you see in Baby World and Vampire World and those other worlds, and I'm thinking that one's Farm World. So Huntress Wizard was looking through them, and she sees like bleeding or grapes or berries falling, and she hears a voice like, try to travel, which one you want. Huntress Wizard hears Simon Petrikov's like, I'm in the ambulance with Finn. And it's like, oh no, Finn. And Huntress Wizard goes to Seed, and she finds Fiona, and then she hears Fiona talking to baby Finn, and then she goes into a potted plant to try to grow and sprout. So, and that's how the episode ends. So I wonder how she's gonna grow. Like, is Fiona gonna water it? I wonder how they're gonna figure this out. Oh boy. And I think it's cute seeing Fiona and baby Finn interact. That's really cute. I always wanted, I said this 1,000 times, and I think you get it. I always wanted Finn and Fiona to interact, like the original Fiona and Finn to interact, but this is the closest thing we're gonna get right now. But yeah, and there was another scene where Fiona's like, because Fiona was phoning Simon about money and trying to buy the place and being like, oh, well, I had a plan with this. I was like, should I have done that? Save money? I wonder how they're gonna figure this out. And knowing Queenie, she might find some plans or something, but we'll have to see and find out. I wonder what's gonna happen to Huntress Wizard or Finn and Fiona's adventure. Oh, but I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. It was a really great episode. It was feel like a small episode, but there was a lot of great things happening. I like this backstory with Huntress Wizard. This was a really cool thing we got to see. Well, what did you thought of Adventure Time, the second episode of Fionna Cake? Did you really enjoy it? I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and seeing Fiona with baby Finn was so cute. I can't wait to see original Finn and Fiona interact and use. I think that Farm World Finn chopping down logs, so we'll have to see where that goes. And soon we'll see Huntress Wizard and Fionna and Cake interact. I can't wait for that. We have to wait a week again. Oh, we wait a week before, and now we have to wait another week. Oh my gosh. Well, anyways, what do you all think? Are you excited to see Fionna and Cake see episode 3 and see like what's gonna happen next? What are your thoughts? And see you next time.